So welcome to the Miami Realtors training for Florida Realty of Miami. I'm Maggie Guriel. I am Vice President of Coral Gables, Professional Standards and Broker Relations. And together with your broker, Juan Baiceras, we came up with a few topics for some trainings. And so this is the second training that we have set up for your office. Today we have Christy with us, and Christy is one of our fabulous Miami trainers, and she is going to be covering MLS Advantage, RPR, our MLS Advantage, RPR, Proxio, and I'm missing one, Christy.
We're doing advanced data co-op.
There we go. I always miss one, but I'll be in the chat answering questions and sharing information or any links that Christy might be referencing. Keep in mind that this is going to be about an hour-long training, maybe a little bit more, and Christy is going to be reviewing 4 products. So she's not going to be able to go in depth completely with each of the products, but we will be sharing our contact information. So if you have any questions, or as you start to use the programs, if you have any questions, you can always refer back and reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help you fill in some of those blanks. So without further ado, again, welcome to the training, and I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton over to Christy and let Christy take the floor. Thank you for being here, everyone.
Thank you so much, Maggie. It is going to be an absolute pleasure working with you guys this afternoon. I did want to say and wish you a welcome, and I wanted to say good afternoon and thank you for joining us today. I did want to get started on our webpage on miamirealtors.com, and I do have a brief time with you, and I want to share with you all of the different ways that you can search for property outside of your service area. So before we start searching outside of our service area, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, what is your service area? So on miamirealtors.com, we have an area here. This is your MLS resource. We're going to give this a quick click, and we're going to take a look at a map of the area that you service as part of the Miami Association of Realtors. So let's scroll down. We're going to go ahead and click where it says tutorials and info. We have created for you an MLS coverage area map. I'm going to give this a quick click. And we're going to talk about the 2 data partners that we share, well, the 2 partners that we share data with, and the area that we cover. So as part of members, as part of the association, we cover Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie County. So you'll have access to the property information in this territory. Now, it's not to say that you can't pop into Matrix and search using a specific area code for properties outside of this area. You'll have access to international properties as well as properties in the Caribbean and outside of Florida, but you will not have all of the information. You'll have some if available or if applicable, because there's a Miami member entering that listing. So now that we know what our service area is, let's go ahead and talk about how we can access properties outside of this area for customers who are interested in properties out of this area. All right, so going back into miamirealtors.com, you go ahead and click on our logo, access our main webpage, scroll to the middle of the page, and we're going to access the Miami Gateway. Let's go ahead and give this a quick click and talk about the programs that we're going to be accessing today. The first program that I want to talk to you about is MLS Advantage, and you can find MLS Advantage towards the center of your page. You're going to go ahead and click on the Florida Realtor icon. We have many icons here. Let me go ahead and find the icon. Okay, so under Florida Realtor, you can go ahead and directly log in to this portal. And from here, we can actually find MLS Advantage. So let's give this a quick click so that we can access this page. Now, not only do you have access to MLS Advantage that I'll be covering today, but you also have access to Form Simplicity, is also a Florida Realtor benefit. And that means the properties that we can preview outside of our service area through MLS Advantage, you can also technically contract, right, using the system Form Simplicity. You also have access to our tech line, and Florida Realtor Tech Line will assist you with all of your technical issues regarding well, any kind of tech that you want or have questions on, right? But today we're going to be focusing on MLS Advantage. So I'm going to give this a quick click. You might have already had full access to this area. So what you're looking at is your MLS Advantage data page. And from here, what you can do is you can search, you can access reports and input customers. You also have access to previewing your listings, creating a CMA, and you also have a help center where you can ask or receive additional assistance from MLS Advantage and Florida Realtors. Moving to the side, you also have a training section. This will give you different articles, different videos and tutorials that you can watch to help you manage and use MLS Advantage. Moving to the side, you can always report any additional feedback that you have with the program. Now, before I get started with MLS Advantage, I want to talk to you about what it actually is, or better said, what it's not. So the MLS Advantage is not an MLS system. This is basically a co-op. And that means that different MLSs have come together and shared data or cooperated by sharing data with each other. So just like us with the Miami Association of Realtors, individual agents will input listings. These different MLSs across the United States are sharing data. And if that MLS chose to share data inside of MLS Advantage, they too will have access to ours, right? So it's like a give and a take. So from here, you're also not going to have all of the bells and whistles that a regular MLS will have. And if that function is not available here, it's primarily because that's not what this program is for. But you can search, you can save your searches. And in today's class, I do want to show you how to put in a customer. I also want to show you how to create a saved search for a client. We're going to talk about some of the reports that you can make, and we're also going to send out an auto email. So let's get started by adding in a customer. Up at the top, you have the customer tab. We're going to click on here and we're going to add a client. To add a client, you're going to simply tap on the orange button on the right-hand side that says add new customer. We're going to give this a quick click and we can add in their fields. You can add in a title, their first name, their last name, and additional information like their cell phone, their email address, their preferred contact. And as we scroll down, we can input their address, language spoken, best time to contact, planned activity, whether they're interested in buying, selling, or both, and what it is that they plan to buy or sell. You also have a sector where you can add additional notes for that customer. But when you're done, you're going to tap on the save button on the bottom right-hand corner. Now that we know how to add customers in so we can share data with them, let's jump into our search. So tapping onto the search bar in the top left-hand corner is going to give us access to how we can search. And you can search in a few different ways. You can do a field search, right? So you're going to be able to search using different fields as we're used to searching inside of the MLS, for example. You can search using a map. You can create a hot sheet search, or you can also save these searches. Now, for example, you can search using an MLS ID, but you can also search using a radius by address. Now, one of the ways that we can use this, I'm going to do an example, is let's say that your customer went on a beautiful vacation to Naples, right? They went to Naples, they stayed at a lovely hotel in Naples, and now they want to live in that area. So for example, let's say that they stayed at the Naples Grand. What I would do is I would give it a quick search. And once I give it a quick search, I would, of course, select that property address and I would create a radius around. Now, this is just one example of how you can use the system. I would pop it into the radius. Input my zip code. right? And we can begin that search. But before I do, I want to go ahead and give it a name. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go ahead and send Maggie to Naples. And I can save and I can search using that radius. So as I save and as I search, I can scroll down and it's going to automatically allow me to start to build out a report and to start to add properties to a specific queue. And as I scroll down, I'm going to have all of the properties that are available in this area. Now from here, I do have 19 and there's very little criteria that I added. But if I click on that more button with the plus sign, I have additional features that I can use to go ahead and do that search, right? But from here, I do want to show you that I can go ahead and add specific properties into the queue. You have a few options with each of the properties that you're searching. You can go ahead and add it to a report, or you can view the details. So if I tap on view details, this is going to give me a whole bunch of great information on this property. Now I have a price point, I have a synopsis about that property, and I can add it to a report, create a report with just one property, or write a contract. So when I click on write a contract, this means that's going to syndicate all of my information right into Form Simplicity. So it makes it very easy for you to start a contract using MLS Advantage and the tools that we already have at the association. As I continue to scroll down, you'll have additional details. This is property information where you'll find features, property descriptions, legal information, and more. Towards the bottom, you have your property information, right? Lot size, dimensions, schools in the area are all here. If I click on listing details, it's going to break down the interior, the exterior, private descriptions, showing instructions will be available here, financing information, and listing details as well. When I click on tax details, we're going to find tax information, which you're also able to print for your consumer. And you also have map and directions right from here. So if we wanted to plan that drive, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and input an address, and it's going to give you that drive information. So let's go ahead and put one in. I'm going to tap on get directions, and it's going to show me how I can reach Naples from here. So all great things, I can go ahead and add it to my report. And once I've added it to my report, I'm also am able to go back to my search. Okay, let's go ahead and add in additional features from here. Let's put a maximum price. Let's see, can we find anything under 700,000? Okay. Additional information, can we give 3 bedrooms? Right, we'll do 2 baths. Go ahead and search. Okay, and from here, we can go ahead and now we have a more specified search that's available. So from here, I can go ahead and add a few to the report. I think this one looks really nice. Okay, Capri Drive. Let's go ahead and add that one in. And based on the parameters of our search, we have 2 that are available. Now that we have 3, which is that really nice, beautiful $1 million property, and these other 2, I'm going to tap on Report Queue. From here, you have the ability to remove from the report, or I can actually create the report from here. Or you have the same sector or the same option up top. So I'm going to create the report, and you have a few reports that you can create. You have customer-facing reports that are going to have less information. For example, details of the other agent are available on this tab. The second tab are your licensee reports, which are more available or better suited for you as the professional. Under customer reports, the one that I prefer and the one that I like is probably customer detailed report with large photos. I'm a visual person, I think so are customers. And if I'm looking at Naples, I want to see nice big pictures. Now you have 2 choices for your reports. You can either email the report or you can view and print that report if they're right in front of you. We're going to take the second to tap on email report. From here, you're able to input your customer's information. You can copy yourself if you'd like. It's going to have your subject property or subject message available, as well as your signature. Now, I did go ahead and input this information a little earlier today. And before we pop out, I'll show you how. Let's write our little message. You also have the ability to send yourself a copy down here. And then we're going to go ahead and send that email. This way, we're able to send our customers different emails using the information that we have available in MLS Advantage. Now, I also wanted to show you inside of the search that you have an area where you can search the map. So tapping on map search will give you a visual where you can search your map. As I scroll down, this is the map that's available for good old Florida. And from here, we can use the shapes, either a circle, a rectangle, or a polygon to create a specific search in an area. So if I was interested, I'm going to go with my circle, which is a radius. I'm going to go around this area and I'm going to target it and pull out. And pulling out, I'm able to highlight that section. And from here, I can choose the property type that I'm interested in, the property status. You have business types that you can also search. So for commercial agents, you have that ability here. You can choose your minimum price to your maximum price. I'm going to go with $350,000 regarding price point. This is your minimum. And then you have your bedrooms. Let's do a minimum of 3 with a maximum of 2 and start our search and see if anything pulls. So down here, we do have 35 properties that are going to be available in this area. This is another way that you can save these searches and send them out to your customers. So if you're a visual person that enjoys previewing property on a map, I think this is a good option for you. Okay, you can always click on one of these icons or one of your green flags, which indicates that it's an active property. And you can preview the address, a synopsis, add it to a report for your customer, as I showed you, or view the full detail of that property. All right. Again, up at the top, you have that report queue. So if I wanted to add anything additional, it would reach our customer, Maggie. Clicking and add it to the report. Let me click on the X and let's move on with all of the other things that you can do inside of MLS Advantage. From here, I do want to show you that you're able to go ahead and click back on that search. And the next section I want to show you is the hot sheets. So we are familiar with hot sheets. We've seen them in the MLS, but you can create them here. You can choose your city. You can also include a zip code, different property types that you want to compare, and the statuses that you want to see. So for example, pending, expired, withdrawn. From here, you can choose your range, and towards the bottom, you can choose whether you only want to see new listings, price changes, or status changes. You're also able to build out a range of price point of the properties that you're interested in seeing. So let's go ahead and click back into the search. We can return to hot sheets, but we have a lot of information to cover. So clicking on save searches, these are the searches that we worked on today. So for example, we went ahead and created that search for Maggie. We named it in the beginning, Maggie Goes to Naples. Once you've created a search for your customer, we did show you how to send her a report with all of the properties inside. But aside from being able to send her a report, you're also able to send her an auto email, which is very cool. From here, you have a few choices: setting up the auto email, running the search again. And if you're interested in knowing what criteria you used, it's related or available down below. So we created a radius around the beautiful hotel in Naples. We went out a distance of 1 mile. We were searching for a single family active property. We also were able to go ahead and run that search to preview it again, but let's set up an auto email for her. Tapping on auto email, we're also able to enable it. If you do not enable the auto email, it won't go out. Okay, so from here, you're also able to select a customer. And from here, we're going to go ahead and select our customer, Maggie. This step we took in the beginning by adding our customer up above, because technically you can name your searches whatever you'd like. From here, you're also able to carbon copy yourself. This is to send yourself a public email. She'll see you'll also receive that email. And you also have a blind carbon copy that's available as well. You can choose which type of report she'll be receiving. So we did like the customer report with the large photos. So that's what we're going to select. And then we can choose the frequency. When do you want to send it to her? Once a day, once a week, or once a month? We're going to go with once a week, and we can choose when that property or this auto email will expire. You can do 1 month all the way to 6. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and send it to her for 1 month. And if the price changes on a property, the system will go ahead and resend that if you check off include price property. Towards the bottom, it does say subject property for your consideration, and you can add a message if you want. Okay, so I went ahead and I put in a message. Just explaining to her, hi Maggie, I've created a search for you, and when new properties match your criteria or the price changes, you will be receiving them, right? This is an example. Now, sometimes the system will go ahead and you can choose to send her an email if there's no available properties at that time. And if you do so, or if that's what you want, you would simply check this off and be sure to input a message for her. Right, you went ahead and put in that message, and now we're ready to save. So before we do that, we want to include our email signature. And if you'd like a copy, you can check this off here. Tap on save, and the system's doing the heavy lifting for you. So this is a great way for you to search Florida in other MLSs that do not fall under our search criteria. This is a great way that you can search a map, create a hot sheet, set up an auto email, and set up reports. This is MLS Advantage, and this does have its own class, which you can preview. Now, before you start searching, sending out emails, and setting up auto emails, I did want to show you where you can input your information regarding your account. So up at the top, you see where it says account. You want to give this a quick click so you can go ahead and manage that information. Under account information, we want to upload our photo. You want to scroll down. Your name will be locked in, but you can input your email address, your cell phone number. And if your broker has included a logo, the office logo will appear here. You can tap on Save Changes. Next to account information, you have your email defaults. And I went ahead and I inputted my information. You can do the same. You can input your default subject. So whenever you're going to send a report, an email, or an auto email, this will populate for you. Input your property, your default subject information. I put in property for your consideration, and then I popped in my email signature. Okay, save your changes and you are ready to go. If you'd like, and you already have a default message and a default no match message, you can also get this set up in advance. This is your MLS Advantage. This is available inside of your dashboard through Florida Realtor. Let's move into the next section. And the next program that I want to talk to you about is called Data Co-op. Let me take a look, and all information is being managed, or questions are being managed by Maggie. So I hope you guys like this and that you include it into your business. Where can I access Data Co-op? All right, so let's click out of these. And inside of your Miami Gateway, you'll have access to Data Co-op by clicking on one of our tried and true products that you guys, we all live in it. Matrix. You want to give this a quick click, and we're going to look at Data Co-op. So clicking on Matrix, hovering over search will give you access to, of course, all of your property types. But scrolling down, you also have a section here that says search other MLSs. And that's exactly what data co-op is. It's very similar to MLS Advantage, where different associations are combining data so that you can search for property outside of your service area within South Florida, but also you have access to other properties in the country. So we're going to give this a quick click. When you click on this, you'll have access to a program called Data Co-op. It's going to say Data Co-op. You'll have the Miami Association of Realtors here. And what we want to do here is go ahead and show you that you can search. All of your search options are going to be on that left-hand side. And as you input criteria, there is a tip that I want to give you. You do want to go ahead and constantly update for results. On the right-hand side, you can search using the map. So both will work together. If I move my map and I click on the results, it's going to begin to pull that information for me, or you can go ahead and begin to input the information here. So from here, let's do a sample of a search. If I was going to search inside of Data Co-op, up at the top, you can go ahead and search by address, place, name, or listing. You're able to view the information in a map view, as we are now, or you can use your view the results and a list view. You can zoom into your map, and this is the button that you would use to clear results. We've discussed updating our results. Scrolling down, this is some search criteria that I can use. So for example, I'm going to do a search of, you can search all residential, right? That means you can search single, condos, cooperatives, townhomes, mobile, apartments, etc. You can also include multifamily. You can focus on farms, lots and lands, timeshares, and more. In this example, I'm going to focus on single family homes. I'm also going to go ahead and include our bedrooms. I like to do a 3-2 as an example. Many families will be happy with a 3-2. And I also want to go ahead and input the stories. So we're interested in a 1-story home in this case. And the price point that I want to use, we're relocating. So we're going to drop that price to $350,000. From here, I want to go ahead and use my advanced search so that you can see how they work. Using the location option, I'll have access to states and provinces. I'm going to go ahead and search inside of Alabama. From here, I also want to go ahead and select a place within Alabama. And the example I wanted to choose today was a little area or a little town called Gulf Shore. This is a beach town. It has great little music festivals. It also has really cute beachside restaurants, okay? And it's waterfront. So if you're moving from Miami towards Alabama, I think a beach town would be a good fit. So from here, I can go ahead and scroll up, and we wanted to touch that button, update results. And as you can see, we have gone ahead and updated our results. Our active properties are listed atop. We have 110 properties. We are searching. The type is single family. Right below, this is where you choose whether you want a property that's for sale or for rent. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on properties that are for sale. And then I'm going to, again, tap on update results. From here, we now have 62 properties, and I wanted to show you how they look in the map. We can hover and select 62 right over here that's available. We also have the button that will allow us to zoom in on this area. Okay, so far we're looking for single family, 4 sales, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-story. Let's get in a garage. And we do 2-car garage, please. Update our results and see what we have available. From here, let's basically cut our results in half. We now have 54 results. We do have that location of Alabama. We're looking in this cute little town, Gulf Shores. And from here, we want to go ahead and not include any distressed properties. Okay, so I'm going to exclude all properties, foreclosure, short sale, and REOs. And we're looking for a pool. Okay, so now that I've selected pool, we're going to scroll back up and update those results once again. From here, we have now 34 properties. As I continue to scroll down, I do want to show you that you can search within the remarks, you can also put in key features and phrases to search. And we also have the ability to click and preview our statuses. It'll automatically select active properties that are on market for you, but you can choose under contract, sold, rented, off market, etc. As I continue to scroll down, you do have the option to switch to a list view. You have that available here, but you also have it available atop. So from here, we have 34, and I want to go ahead and click on the list view so I can take a look at it. Now that they're available, you can see that some of them are checked off for us. So you can do a few things with the properties that are available. I'm going to uncheck all because there's 34. And I'm going to give the system a second. There's quite a lot of data that we are previewing at once. I'm going to click maybe the 3 top properties that I want to compare, and you can side by side, and I want to show you how. All right, so from here, you're able to print, send, and compare. I want to show you the compare option. This is a great way that your customer can preview this information, and it's going to give them those details side by side, right? And from here, if they're in front of you, you can print it, and you can also use as a subject property. Now from here, I also want to show you that you can send the information. So let me tap on send. And if I wanted to send these, you can send these multiple properties. You can send the summary of these properties. You also have a comparison view that I showed you, or you can have something that's very detailed for each property. They went ahead and they filled out an email message already for you. And it says, I thought you might be interested in this property information. Please see the attached report, and it includes your name. So you can go ahead and give it a subject. It's going to show you how many properties you're sending out. And down here is where you would enter the destination email. Let's go ahead and send them to Maggie. And from here, you can go ahead and click to send. Now that we know how to send, I'm going to go back into my list. And I do want to mention that, yes, as you use Data Co-op, it is a friendly system, but there is a little patience required with all of the data that's moving within the system. So as I scroll down, the last feature that I wanted to show you is that you have available to save your search options. So I'm going to tap on Save Search Options. You can go ahead and give it a description. You can receive these emails that are available for you. So anything that's a weekly new matched, you can send it to yourself weekly, daily, or never. And from here, you can go ahead and CC a consumer or a partner if you work in a team, and you can go ahead and save these. This way, you'll start to receive emails from your search in another state. You can, of course, favorite any of the properties. They're going to be available under favorites, and there is quite a lot that you can do here. But then again, it does not have all of the bells and whistles. It does, and it will take a little longer because of all of the data inside, but this is a great option for you in order for you to search other properties in other states and other provinces. This is Data Co-op. This is available inside of Matrix. If you hover over search and you select search other MLSs. This is also available for you inside of your gateway. There's an icon that will say search other MLSs. Let's go ahead and get back into our gateway and talk about our next program that we're going to be previewing today. And that program is called RPR. So if I jump right back into all of the different systems or programs that we have available, let's go ahead and find RPR. As I scroll down, you do have RPR that's available right over here. You'll have it next to your realtor.com search, your IMAP search, and Realist, because this is and can be used as a textual service. RPR, I would say, is report-based. And this is a fantastic tool to study an area, especially if it's an area that you're unfamiliar with, to build out reports. So in RPR, what we're going to do today is we're going to search for property outside of our service area. We're going to take a look at a neighborhood report. We're also going to take a look at a property report, and we're going to learn how to send it in two ways. You can either send that report by email, or you can download that report for your consumer. You can also share these reports on social media. So if you click on here, you'll have access to RPR. If you've never clicked on RPR before or accessed this system, you will need your email address, the email associated with your Miami Realtors account. Aside from that, it is going to ask you for your NRDS number. If you don't know where your NRDS number, let's take a quick look where you can find it. As I scroll up, you do have available My Miami dashboard. When you click on here, you're going to have information about you and your account. And one of the pieces of information here is your NRDS number. Where you see your name, you'll have your company, and right below that, you'll have your NRDS number. It's also available on the top right-hand corner of your screen. You can also find your NRDS number. Since we're already in here, under events, if you've scheduled any classes or upcoming classes, you can go ahead and take a look at upcoming classes, upcoming meetings, and classes that you've registered for. Just a tip. Moving back into the Miami Gateway, we're going to go ahead and scroll down and give RPR a quick click. This is going to give you access to the RPR dashboard. Now you have a residential side and a commercial side. I love RPR. If you want to dip your toe into commercial, I think that's one of those programs that is a really good starting program. But in today's class, we're focusing on researching another area. So under location, let's go ahead and input an area that's outside of our service area. Let's go ahead and take a look at Orlando, Florida. So if I click on Orlando, Florida, you will have access to all of the properties that are available here. So far, based on a previous search that I've created, I have 75 properties. But I did want to show you that you can go ahead and search this area. So here you have your type, you have the ability to search properties that are for sale, for lease, and you have your statuses below. You also have your property types where you can choose all or specific property type. You can create a range of price, and you also have the ability to not only do the total price point, but you have the leasing price available as well. We can add in our bedrooms and our baths to this search, and you also are able to access additional filters. So tapping on filters will give you an additional layers where you can include information regarding the size of the property, including living area, lot size, and unit information. You can also choose to include foreclosure or distressed homes, or you can exclude them. You also are able to search your open houses in the area, include lot and land information. And under miscellaneous fields, for those of you who have not taken an RPR class, there is some prospecting that you can do using this program. On the right-hand side, you can choose specific keywords to include in your search. And if you scroll down, you're going to have these properties available for you. Now, they're currently in a list view, but you can see them as a list. You can see them in a grid, and you also have access to seeing them on a map. Now, from here, I want to take you back into the list view, and I want to take a look at one of the properties that are available so we can take a look at a property report or a property card. Clicking on the image is going to give you access to a property card, and you'll have quite a lot of information regarding this area of Orlando, Florida. We're looking at 32804. Here we have the photos of the home that are available for us and where it's located on the map. You'll have access to the listing agent's information, office details, and contact information. Under property summary, you do have the price point of that property with an RVM. If you're not familiar with what an RVM is, you can hover your mouse over the small I, and it's going to let you know that it's an estimated value, and they do generate your RVM and AVM. They're available and they're estimated based on properties that were sold, properties in the area, on the MLS, off the MLS, and more. They also will include a confidence score. So it'll give you that price point, and the system will also generate for you a confidence score. So how secure does the system feel with the price point that it gave you? It'll indicate it here. You have basic facts about the property, such as bedrooms, baths, square feet, ownership information, last time it was sold, price per square feet, and how many days it's been on RPR. You'll scroll down to access description information. You have a space where you can add your notes. And I really like this about RPR. You can compare your public facts with the listing facts in the same page. So for example, the public facts is listing that there's 4 bedrooms and the listing facts is listing that there's 5. You can go ahead and add in your notes here. So when you have a conversation with that listing agent, you have some information that or some questions that you might want to ask. Scrolling down, you'll also have historical records for this property. So if it was listed multiple times on the MLS, you can access those details. You have information regarding the schools in the area, the home ownership information, and it's also going to compare other cities around the current city that you're looking at. As I continue to scroll down, we have price change history that's available, and this area is also given a score by AARP. AARP has used information regarding housing, neighborhood information, transportation, environment, health, engagement, and opportunity. It's issued it out a score, and then it gives a total score to the home based on those factors. And as I continue to scroll down, you'll have interior feature information, public interior information, which will include any additions that they've done to the home. And then we have our exterior details here. Public information as well, like code or neighborhood code, rooftop, lot size, and more. We have other details, any additional building conditions. They've also graded it, and they include if you have any additional builds on the outside, including a shed. You have your location details where you can write notes, ownership facts, legal description information, tax information, deeds, and more. Now, you do have quite a lot of information that you have that's available for a customer. This is perfect if you're unfamiliar with an area or a territory. So not only do you have the information of the other agent, if you chose to communicate with them, maybe you want to discuss a possible referral, but you can also send this report to a customer. Tapping on the top right-hand corner where it says create report will give you access to creating that property report. Now, how can I go ahead and send it over to my customer? You can tap on that plus sign, and this is going to give you all of the different elements that are included in this report. So I have not created or refined the value. I didn't do a comp analysis on here, so I'm going to remove these pages. But other than that, I'm okay. On the right-hand side, this is going to make up the front of my page. And I'm okay with the information that's being sent. So I'm okay with all elements, but if you wanted to update or edit this, for example, I don't want to include a fax number, you can, okay? Scrolling down, I'm going to either run the report. Now, if you run the report, that's going to automatically give you 2 options on how you want to deliver it. On the top, you can display now. You can open it and download it as a PDF simply by tapping display now and tapping on run report. The other way that you can do it, it's running. The other way that you can do it is you can tap on email. Now, if I'm going to email it, I'm also going to include my customer's name so I can customize the report to her. Let's go ahead and send it to Connie. And then I can go ahead and send her a little message. Hello, Connie. And then from here, I can go ahead and input her email address. And then I can tap on run report. And I'm running the report in 2 ways. I sent you an email, and now I'm also able to download that report initially. Now, I was able to go ahead and preview the information for this property, but another great report that you can do here, let's tap on our property address, is get familiar with the neighborhood, especially if I myself am unfamiliar. So I'm going to exit out of here. And what I'm going to tap on is neighborhood report. This is going to give me access to quite a lot of information about that space. So we have the property details here, but we've moved into neighborhood. We have a median estimated value of the homes in this area, how it's changed in the last month, and how the price has changed in the last year. So it's gone up almost 25% in the last year. We have the median estimated home value for properties in this area. It's also going to be comparing Orlando with the county. It's also going to compare the county with the state of Florida and the US. You can customize this. It's showing you all years, which is back showing you 3 years, but you can choose whether it's a year, 2 years, or 3. And if you don't want to compare one of these options, you just uncheck it. On the right-hand side, this is one of my favorite options. They're able to see other neighborhoods in the area, and that's going to give them sometimes the median price point, and it's also going to give them the number of homes with the population. The system is letting us know that these reports are being generated and they're done. We have the median sales price versus sales volume, the median listing price versus list volume, the population of children in the area, adults. And if I click on housing, they'll get even more information about the homes in this area or this territory. The housing facts do include that price point, how it's changed within a month, within 12, the age of most of the homes in this area, the percentage of owners compared to renters, and as I continue to scroll down, the percentage of change in permits, percentage of change in value. Median listing price, we previewed before. Price range, it's also going to tell you the price per square foot in the homes in the area, the sizes of the houses in the area. So most of them, right, are fairly large. The age of the homes, the popular number of bedrooms in this area, and we can tap into people to get to know our neighbors. So this is fantastic. I always advise customers or realtors, better said, to send out a report, much better than issuing out an opinion. This is already created for you. It's a lovely report. It's very detailed. And yes, very useful if you are relocating a customer or helping somebody relocate or live somewhere else. But even within our own territory, right? If you were doing a neighborhood report in Doral compared to Weston, it's kind of like two different worlds. So I think this is very useful. You have your people, facts, and stats. What's the population looking like? You also have the median age. It even breaks down the percentage of male and female. Their education levels are listed here as well. Population of children, adults, household with children. So is this a family-oriented community? Household income bracket, what are they making in this area? What do they do for work? It even breaks down their presidential voting pattern. You have economy information. And then aside from economy information, which is income per capita, unemployment rates, and more, you have quality of life. So this is one of my favorite reports, and I'm going to show you that it's very easy to create. Tap on the create report. From here, you'll have the neighborhood report that's already selected. Just like I showed you, you can click on the plus sign. You can determine what you'd like to add into your report. You can either choose information regarding the listings or information about the public records. From here, I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. I'm going to scroll down and we're going to send it out. I like to customize. From here, we're going to choose how we'd like to deliver it. We want to send it through email. And as you can see towards the bottom, I've carbon copied myself. So I'm going to go ahead and run that report. All right, so very cool. We're able to run different reports. This is a nationwide program, so you can search for different territories within the whole United States. If you'd like additional support here, one of my favorite options inside of RPR is if you click on research, you can go ahead and decide what it is that you'd like to do, whether it is a property search, map search, or a neighborhood search. You can also search for schools, market activity, and commercial details if you toggle on down to commercial. Now that we've previewed some of the information that we have, let's go ahead and access those reports. If you were to access them, a great place to look is under My Work. So tapping on My Work will give you access to your markets, your listings, any properties that you saved. But we're going to move into My Reports. From here in the middle, we have the 3 reports that we created today. The first one was a property report. Let's go ahead and give this a quick click. And it's here, it's available. It's beautifully done. It took us a few seconds and it's support for our customer. Okay. Now you can download it, you can print it, right? You can go ahead and email this if you'd like. It's also a live link. So if you wanted to share it, you have it available here. Okay. So the second one was we did a property report. We also did a neighborhood report. So let's tap on Orlando, Florida, take a peek. This is your neighborhood report that's also available here that we can send out to that customer with the breakdown of all of the things that we were looking at. Then you can print it, you can download it, you can send it out to your customer. And both of these we emailed. So just because you emailed them doesn't mean you won't have access to them. Under reports, if I were to click on, for example, that neighborhood report, it's going to move me down into the neighborhood section. But if I scroll back up, you see our last neighborhood report. We have report options where you can download it, delete it. You can even post it onto your social media. So if I wanted to post it on Facebook, I can. I can go ahead and click on shares to newsfeed or story. I can click on share to a page that I manage. I'm here under my business page, and I'm going to go ahead and input a short message. From there, I'm going to go ahead and post to Facebook. And this is another way that you can share information. This is RPR. I think it's a fantastic tool. Under research, you can also find them school information. You can search an area. So I'm going to tap on that school information area. You can search using a school district or geography. You can input the city and the state that you're interested in. You can also choose the name of the school if they have a specific school in mind. And you can also filter based on school type. So if I just wanted those elementary schools, I can go ahead and start my search. That's going to give me a preview of all of the schools in the area, which is very useful because sometimes they'll have the territory that they're interested within the spot. You can go ahead and click on the school that you're interested or in the territory that you're interested. And from here, you'll have access to searching for nearby listings or creating a school report. Now, when you create a school report, it's going to give you information about that school. But aside from giving you information of that school, let's view the sample. It's also going to give you community news or reviews about that school. It's also going to find schools within the last 5 miles of the area. And then it's also going to find available properties within 5 miles of that school. So we're helping them with not only school information, reviews of the school, but also with neighborhood properties. So we're going to go ahead and customize our school report. And we'll go ahead and run that report and share it. All right. So far we have covered MLS Advantage, Data Co-op, and RPR. We've created automatic searches. We've searched out of our service area. We've compared property. And now we want to move into a system called Proxio Pro that I want to show you. So I'm going to click out of RPR. Now we are moving fairly quickly through the programs, and my goal is not to overwhelm you with all of the different features that each program has. I want to remind you that we have classes that are available regarding each program that will give you a deep dive into each. Not only will it give you a deep dive into each program, but they tend to be a little longer, right? So normally it's an hour each course. These are available inside of our calendar. So on miamirealtors.com, under calendar, you can find live events, live classes. We also have a YouTube page that you can visit, youtube.com/miamitrainers. Now, I did want to pop into YouTube and I wanted to give you kind of like a presentation or a preview of what Proxio is before I started teaching it. So let's go ahead and take a second and watch this video about what Proxio is.
Agent, how can you stand out in an increasingly competitive market? How can you expand and promote yourself globally to a growing number of international buyers? And how can you make your growing network work better for you to expand and grow your business? Proxio, the world's most extensive global real estate network. What is Proxio? Proxio is the only global real estate network exclusive to real estate professionals that allows you to market yourself to buyers and create valuable connections with agents from over 100 countries. Proxio operates in 19 languages, so you can connect with and promote your properties to other real estate professionals anywhere, regardless of language. Proxio is the best way to market your properties within your trusted network as well as reach buyers from all over the world. Proxio's privacy layers enable you to select how much information you want to share on your listing and with whom, so you now have a way to build networks with other agents you know and trust, and network with over 650,000 agents from over 100 countries, with tools to show your clients that you're able to reach international buyers, to stand out, and show your clients you're committed to success. It's all about your network. That's how you win. That's how you stay ahead of the competition. Proxio enables you to leverage your network to generate more leads, get more visibility for you and your listings, and stand out with clients. Proxio is working with associations, brokerages, and MLSs all over the world to provide agents with the marketing and networking tools they need to succeed. So get started today at proxiopro.com or go to proxio.com to learn more. Because a whole world of buyers is just one click away.
So this is a little bit about Proxio before we jump into it. And so far, we've stayed pretty local. We also searched for properties a little outside of our service area. We also know that we can search inside of data co-op in other states. Same thing for RPR. But I want to get you familiar with a great program called Proxio. So inside of our Miami Gateway, this is the Proxio tool. This is a global referral network and a developer showcase. So you can build out a network of professionals that you can work with, or a global network of professionals that you can work with from other countries. You also can showcase development properties. So these are pre-construction projects that you can share. You can build out a website as well. So today in this class, we're going to talk about completing your profile. We're also going to talk about building out that network. We're going to talk about that Proxio Pro case, and we're going to show you how to search for property. And let's jump into it. All right, so clicking on to Proxio, this does have an update. So if you are interested in upgrading, you can, but I'm going to click on here. We're going to jump into it. Clicking on here will give you access to Proxio Pro. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to view our profile and set that up. You do have many widgets that are available for you, but they're not as overwhelming as it may seem at initial glance. Now, on the top right-hand corner, you can update your language. You can also update your profile from here. This is going to give you access to showing any notifications that you may have on your system. You have access to support. Support will guide you through any actions that you wish to take, and you can access and edit your Proxio showcase from here. Now you do have some menu options that are available. This is what you're currently looking at is your dashboard. You can build your network and begin to immediately invite professionals to work with. Tapping on invite will allow you to form connections. Now, if a customer or an agent doesn't have a photo, I'm not really interested in working with them or even inviting them. Why? Because if you don't have at least a headshot, kind of gives me the idea that either you haven't entered Proxio or you don't keep up with the system. So at least having an image is one of those things that we want to take care of today. Now, how can I do that? I'm going to tap on view profile. We're going to start editing. So Beta, you have a question? You can ask. Yes, you will not be able to search all of the properties, all of the states. So a co-op is an agreement amongst MLSs. It's not a forced cooperation. So some MLSs are going to choose to share their data and some MLSs are going to choose not to. So if you're an MLS that chooses to share your data, then you have in turn access to that co-op where you can see everybody else's data. But if you choose not to, then it's not forced. We cannot make them share their data. It's optional on behalf of the MLS. So it's up to them whether they want to share or not. It's an association decision. Is there a way to know who shared? Right. So on the left side, Maggie has indicated that you can see all of the different ones that can share. And hopefully more people join us, but I think many have. And between the MLS, Data Co-op, MLS Advantage, Realtor.com, we should be able to get quite a lot of details. All right, so here we have where we can view our profile. When you click on the orange button that says Edit Our Profile. So clicking on Edit Profile, you can go ahead and toggle this open where you're able to edit your information. You can input your first name, your last name, and your license ID. You can input your title, whether that's Realtor, Realtor Associate, your real estate company, your area, your city. Under profile, you can input information about you. You can add in your phone number. If you have a Skype number, since it's international, you can pop that in here. And then you can input information about you here. You can input it in English, French, you have Spanish down here, Español, Italiano. They're available to input information about yourself. You're also able to pop in your social links. So I went ahead and you have your LinkedIn, you have your Twitter, Facebook, so you can pop those in. Down below, you can add in your specialties, right? So for example, residential sales, corporate relocation, etc. You can input your languages. Okay. You also can add any awards that you've won, any specific designation that you'd like to input. You can also input any special skills that you may have, additional credentials, qualifications, or special markets or specialty markets, better said. And then you can also add the areas that you serve. Okay. You can have the specific city, or you can choose the zip code specifically. You're also able to pop in a video. So I have seen this a lot. They are introductory videos that you can include inside of your marketing. I've seen this here, which is Proxio Showcase. This is a video that you would create introducing yourself, your business, your specialties, why it's a good idea to work with you, etc. Now you can add this here in Proxio Showcase, but I've seen it in other places. I've seen it in the Savvy card that you can pop in a video. I've also seen it in One Home, right? The customer portal, you can pop that in as a video. When it comes to different aggregator sites or websites where they're highlighting agent directories, for example, homes.com, you can pop it in there. In the testimony icons or services that we have. For example, Rate My Agent and the other one. I can't think of the other one, but you have two. You can pop in that video. So I've seen this a lot. So this is a great idea to add to your business. Now from here, you're able to, or you have gone ahead and inputted the information for your profile. You want to tap on the save button on the top right-hand corner. And now you also have the ability to add in listings. You also have the ability to create a collection of properties that you want to showcase. So the next step that I wanted to talk to you about is actually how to build your network. So we'll come back here. Let's go back to the main page now that we have our profile set by tapping on the Proxio icon. From here, we want to talk about building that network. Now, we have gone ahead and invited Christine. We also invited Diamla, but I also wanted to show you that you can click on the button that says Connect with Agents. You also have access to view the connections you've already made. Let's tap on Connect with Agents because you can specifically choose or target specific countries to work with different agents. On the right-hand side, I see two more. I'm going to invite Alma. I'm going to invite Myrna. I don't want to invite anybody who doesn't have an image. Now from here, you can choose the state or the country, better said. My invites are going out. Okay, so as I click on here, I'm going to have a list of all of the countries that I can invite from. Okay, let's click Argentina and let's tap on search. See if anybody's available in this area. So we do have a few agents that are available in this area. We can see where they're located. You can also sort through the different pages. This is on page 3. Again, I'm not seeing a picture, so let's choose another country. You think there's anyone in Belize? Imagine. I'll go. All right, so here we have a few agents that are a little bit more serious about being global agents and communicating with other realtors. So here we see we have Jamal, we have Lisa, Estelita, Melvin, Richard, and a few other agents who've taken the time to input their image. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see at a profile. So from here, we can preview their profile. They've added one listing that's available. On the top right-hand side, I can go ahead and add them to my network. I also have access to the property that they're showcasing. I can go ahead and give it a quick click. Now, if I like this property, I can go ahead and add it to my collection if I want. I can also send a message to that agent if I'm interested in working with her, discussing this property, etc. I'm also able to preview all of the information down below. It's also located on a map that I can preview. And if I scroll up, you're also able to share these properties. You can share them by email or by Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and click on the email icon. This is going to give me an area where I can input the recipient's name. I can choose the language, right? The how it's being purchased. I can input or preview the square feet. We also have the subject, and the message has already been included for me. Now, you also have a flyer that I can include. And since I clicked on include flyer, we can preview it. Let me open up that flyer so you guys can see it. Just checking that you can. And down below, you see that you have a flyer. Now, my information is on the right-hand side. Okay. And you can see based on the information I've added, this is my website. These are the languages I speak. And these are what I've incorporated as my specialties: residential sales and corporate relocations. All right. So from here, I'm going to choose that I'm not a robot, and I'm going to go ahead and send out that property with that flyer information. I'm going to move back into Proxio, the icon. And this is where we found how we can build our network. So again, as we scroll down, we simply tapped on connect with agents, selected a country of interest, and began to build out our network. Now, aside from being able to build out a network, I want to show you how to search for properties in this system. So on the left-hand side, you see where it says properties, you can click on here. So aside from the properties you can preview on the actual agent pages, you can search for properties. Here you can add a new one, right? So you can create a listing that's going to be available on Proxio, but we're thinking and we want to find properties. So tap on find properties to begin our search. From here, you have the drop-down arrow. And once you click on here, you can choose what area you'd like to look for properties in. I can tap on search. And you can input a specific address, what type of listings that you're looking for, the price point. And if it's your first time, you can be guided on how you search Proxio. So it will take you through the process, whether you want to see showcase properties. Showcase properties is part of the upgrade. This is going to, well, the agent has either a premium account or they have also paid additional to have their properties syndicated and showcased as main options. You also have the newest, the price, and the price lowest to high, highest to low. So if I was going to build out a specific network, I think it would be a good idea to find properties that have been showcased. Now, as you preview these properties, you are open to selecting any of the units. And when you select the units, as you can see, you'll have all of the information that you can preview on one of these properties. Okay. Now, aside from here, we shared the property last time by going ahead and clicking on email. You're also able to share it on social media. So let's go ahead and post it to Facebook. You can click on share to newsfeed, share to the page you manage, select your business page, scroll down and post to Facebook. You also have a live link that you can share. I acknowledge. Oh, exit. You also can view the Proxio showcase. So let's tap on here. And this is my page. Now, I clicked on view the Proxio showcase and it got me here, but I don't want you to learn to access your Proxio showcase this way. So I'm going to allow this to prepare. I'm going to move back into Miami Gateway and I want to show you the proper way to do that. Let's give it a second. It's loading. All right. Another place to access your showcase is going to be up here. So tapping on Proxio showcase, you should be able to access that same page, which is this page. From here, you have the ability to edit your Proxio showcase. You're also able to showcase a specific listing. On the top right-hand corner, you want to edit your profile, and this is going to give you access to changing the information. So from here, you can upload the picture in the back. You are able to upload your headshot, right? Just tapping on this arrow will allow you to make the change. Same thing for your background image. As you continue to scroll down, you can tap on the one, and we're going to edit information about ourselves. You can input your first name, your last name, and this is going to be your public URL. I went ahead and I put in my first name and my last name. You want to input your email address, telephone number, cell phone number, and company details. Your job title, realtor, realtor associate, your license, and you can also choose your language. Here you have your professional headline, which you can update. Ours says, or mine says, proud to be a Miami member. I'm then able to add information about yourself. So you want to take the time to input your bio. Scrolling down, you want to verify the address of your office or input the address of your office. It's going to have it selected onto the map. And here we can finish inputting the address, including the country, the state, the city, and the address of the property. If there's any specific neighborhoods that you work, you want to add that information here. If you've won any awards or honors, input that here. Any additional qualifications that you have, credentials that you have. This is the space where you want to advertise yourself, brand yourself to the fullest onto your Proxio showcase page. Towards the bottom, you also can choose your languages, whether that's English, Spanish, or any of the additional ones up above. And here you have different specialties that you can select from, right? So for example, you can go ahead and select new homes, investment properties, and retirement properties. Scrolling down, this is a cover video. So if you have that introductory video or a video you'd like to add, this is another space for you to do so. Here we can add our social media, like our Facebook information, Twitter information, and LinkedIn. We can add our Instagram details as well as our website and WhatsApp information. Scrolling down, you also have your Google Analytics. Now, this is an additional feature. You would have to create or select that code directly from Google. You can Google googleanalytics.com. It'll take you right through the process. This is going to be able to give you analytics on the account, meaning how long are people on the account, how are they spending their time, what pages are attracted to them, etc. From here, you want to save your changes and you want to scroll down. Here you have your profile tabs, and you really just have two ways that you can put this in order. You can either select the About Me to begin the page or the new development properties to be highlighted first. I would take a nice Saturday and update your information on your Proxio before you get started. All right, so clicking back onto Proxio Pro, we have all of our different properties that are available here. Now you can see that you have all of the new properties that are available. You have area on the bay, Miami, you have different articles that are available for you to preview. You have access to view the properties and the contact sales offices. On the right-hand side, you have your Proxio Connect. And this is going to take you right back into the main Proxio area where you can choose to build out your page. Now, under Manage Developments, this is where I would go if I wanted to add in the different developments to include into my profile. I myself have added a few, and you can tell which ones I have. So from here, you can click on the arrow, and this will allow you to preview the information of that community. It's going to give you access to the description, brochures that you can use, images that are available for you to download, as well as how you can register a lead with one of the communities and possibly one of your connections. You also have the ability to share this property with your own branding. So if you were to copy this link, you'll have it available here. I think it's very well made with our information onto here. They'll also have the ability to contact you, and they can view more properties with this link. This is going to take you to the page that we've created. We've uploaded our image, we chose our background picture, we inputted our different social media, we have the developments that we're about to add, and we have information about you as an agent. So about me, I haven't inputted my bio as of yet, but we have our contact information, the address of the office, our tagline, our bio, languages, and specialties are all going to be listed here. This Let me get back to our page. All right. So manage developments, edit properties. And here we can choose what you'd like to unfollow or follow. I've selected some up at the top. The ones that say unfollow, I've already added to my page. I've added a few. I've selected all of them. Okay, so if there is any of the properties that you wish to unfollow, you can, but from here, you can choose follow or unfollow. Here it says follow this property. When you do, that's what you're adding to your page. And this way you can have all of these developments that are available, okay? Here you have your sales kit. So under sales kit, you can access additional properties that you can follow. You can select, and on the right-hand side, you can start to build, whether you want to send these properties, send the brochures, or post them to social media. So if you're thinking of using Proxio, I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if you want to expand your business into the global, right? Into the global option of real estate. Proxio Pro is going to help you. The takeaway is Proxio Pro is going to help you build out your network, build out a social profile, share information, and more. Again, each of these programs have their own specialty classes that are going to be available on our calendar. You can also find them on our YouTube channel, which I'm going to share with you now. It's youtube.com/miamitrainers. I'm going to go ahead and share this link with you. You are free to join
tips from your
and
Miami
preview
trainers when performing
all of our different classes. If you're interested in one, you can search. So for example, RPR, press enter, and it's going to give you a list of the full course, and you can do that for each program and service. But it's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. I hope I didn't give you too much information, but just enough for you to get curious about the program, for you to know that it's a great option for you and your business, and for you to know that you can search outside of your service area if it comes to that you have a customer that you need to service. So thank you so much, Maggie, for having me. Thank you so much, Florida Realty of Miami, for allowing me to share all of these products and services with you. And Maggie, if you want to wrap up, I think we've had a great class.
All right. So as Christy said, a lot of information, but as we had previously mentioned, hopefully this gave you some insight into products that you can use to search outside of your service area. And if you have any questions, we have a great YouTube library with playlists, and you always have the trainers available. You can contact Christy directly, and we'll leave the contact information in the chat, or you can contact me. And if at any time you have any questions, you can contact the trainers as a group as well. But thank you so much for attending today's training and presentation. We hope you found it helpful, and we will be editing the recording and sharing it with your broker so that he can send it to any of you that may be interested in rewatching this training. So I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon, and thank you so much for being Miami members and joining us today.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Have a great day. You're welcome. Bye, guys.